I'm RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. So this is a created franchise on MLB The Show for PlayStation 4. Sorry, I don't have PlayStation 5 yet. They are impossible to get. They're like trying to buy a unicorn on eBay. Yeah, I know I can probably spend $1,000 to get one, but I'd like to get one from like Walmart or Kmart or not sponsors. Anyway, imagine if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play Major League Baseball, and that's what you'd have right here. 162 games, start to finish, no skipped innings, no simulated games. We're playing a 3-game set against the New York Mets as we approach the All-Star break. How was SummerSlam for Mr. Rob's show? Welcome to the stream. Not all that much fun, to be completely honest with you. I wasn't interested in most of the matches. I waited until Goldberg fought, and it was a little bit of a disappointment, so I'm glad I didn't pay anything for it, but, listen, food, friends, overall it wasn't so bad. Anyway, let's get this game started. Let's do this. What am I waiting for? So the Avengers are 55-28. This is a 3-game set against the New York Mets. The Avengers have won the first 2 games. They're going for a 3-game sweep. Mr. Dillon, hello, sir. Thank you for joining the stream. This is Avengers Baseball. As you probably already know, I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And I do play-by-play live from Crosley Field. Welcome to the broadcast as the New York Mets visit the Hollywood Avengers. On the mound for the Avengers, going for his 11th win of the first half, Chris Pratt, a.k.a. Star-Lord. 17 starts, 10-1, 3.10 earned run average. Not a big fan of baseball, but have a good night. Thank you, Mr. Rob. Sorry about that. Tomorrow, provided my power isn't out or my internet, I'll be back to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Leading off is Brian Roberts for the New York Mets, 329, 15 homers, 46 RBIs. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Fouled off down the right field line for strike 1. Brian Roberts, switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Star-Lord.
First pitch, 111.
And it is a slow bouncer, charging, bare hand, throws to first in time, 1 away. Great play by Black Panther at third base. Starting lineup for the New York Mets, Brian Roberts is the second. Luis Arias is the DH, Chipper Jones at third, Mike Trout in center. Dante Bichette is in right, Eddie Murray's at first. The shortstop is Marcus Semien. In left is Justin Upton, and Francisco Mejia batting ninth and playing catcher. Hi, I'll be watching Mass Effect 3. Well, I hope you'll be watching it. Reading it, there are some comic books. Arias takes fastball at the knees for strike 1. The Avengers are 55-28, good for first place in the NL West. That's Robert Downey Jr. at first base, and the Drax the Destroyer in right field, Dave Bautista. Here comes the pitch from Star-Lord. Grounder to short, cut the check, routine play, and there are 2 away. Oh, I know you beat Mass Effect 3 already. I know you have. We all have. My stream is not done yet, though. I'm taking my sweet time with it. I love that game. There's no reason to rush it. 2 down, bases empty. Chipper Jones, the Hall of Famer, is hitting .288, 24 homers, 69 runs batted in. Played for the Atlanta Braves in the 90s and 2000s. In there, strike 1. Chipper Jones in his career had 500 homers, 3,000 hits. Have a good night, Mr. Rob. Thank you for joining. In there, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper. Grounder to third, a little bit easier this time for T'Challa. Throws to first, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 inning for Chris Pratt. At the end of a half inning of play, it's the Mets, nothing. The Hollywood Avengers coming to bat. This is Avengers Baseball. On the mound for the New York Mets is Justin Verlander. He's 8-3 with a 3.78 earned run average. famous for being on the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros in real life. World Series champion. Although some people would question the Houston Astro championship. Leading off, Anthony Mackie cut the check, 309, 11 homers, 45 RBIs. He is the new Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here's the first pitch from Verlander. Fouls it off for strike one. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Mets are 48 and 35. Even with the two-game losing streak, they're in first place in the National League West. Count is 0 and 2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he pulls it foul. Count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sam Wilson used to be called the Falcon, now is the new Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Swing and a miss. Out in front of the breaking ball, struck him out swinging, and there's 1 away. First strikeout of the game for Justin Verlander. Here's the replay.
The second baseman, Tom Holland.
Up next is Tom Holland. Spider-Man hitting 372, 11 homers, 56 runs batted in. Fastball is low, ball 1. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. Throws to first, Simeon. And there are 2 away. 2 quick outs for the Mets. Starting lineup for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie is at short, Tom Holland at second, Robert Downey Jr. is at first. DH is Chris Evans. Check that. The catcher is Chris Evans. Pardon me. DH Mark Ruffalo. Third baseman Chadwick Boseman. Dave Bautista is in right. Sebastian Stan is in left. And batting ninth and playing center field is Don Cheadle. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. Robert plays Tony Stark in the MCU. He's hitting 281. He has 10 homers and 43 runs batted in on the season as we approach the All-Star break. Hard ground ball, 1 hop over to Brian Roberts, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 inning for Verlander at the end of 1, no score. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. So we go to the top of the second inning. Up steps the center fielder Mike Trout, hitting 333, 17 homers, 62 runs batted in. Considered by many to be the best player in the major leagues presently. Takes a fastball in there, strike 1. Mike plays for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in real life. Perennial all-star. Knuckler floats in there, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Trout. And he pops it up, first base side. Oh no, misplayed. Misplayed. He's already heading to second. Confusion in the outfield. And some shoddy defense, an error on Tony Stark. And they have a runner in scoring position. Look at this. My goodness. Embarrassing display. So runner in scoring position for Dante Bichette. 307, 8 homers, 40 RBIs. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Fastball in there, 97 on the radar gun for strike 1. Hard ground ball, backhanded, throws to first in time, and there's 1 away, but the runner moves to third on the productive out. So runner at third and less than 2 outs. Good situation for the Mets to be in. Outfield alignment, Sebastian Stan, Don Cheadle, Dave Bautista. And in the infield, Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Mackie, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr. with Chris Evans behind home plate. The Hollywood Avengers lead the National League in fielding percentage. You wouldn't know it by that play here in the second inning. Eddie Murray is a switch hitter, batting 289, 15 homers, 52 runs batted in. Turns over and bats from the right side against the lefty Star-Lord. Pitches low, ball 1. High but called a strike by the home plate umpire. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Misses low, 2-1. So runner at third, one away. They can score the first run of the ball game without the benefit of a base hit. Grounder, and that's exactly what will happen. Fielded by Star-Lord. He steps on the bag for the second out. So it's an RBI ground out for Eddie Murray, and the Mets lead 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. So base is empty. 2 away. Up steps Marcus Semien, the shortstop. 267, 10 homers so far this season. Grounder caught by the pitcher. Star-Lord throws to first to retire the side, but they do get a run on the RBI ground out. And after an inning and a half of baseball here at Crosley Field, the Mets lead 1-0. So we go to the bottom of the second. Up steps the catcher, who's had a hot June. He's hit .356 in June. Overall, .311, 9 homers, 37 runs batted in for the original Captain America, Chris Evans. Swinging and missed at the fastball, strike one. Fastball outside, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. He plays Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, backs him off the plate, count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. This is the third game of a 3-game set. Avengers have won the first 2. They're going for the 3-game sweep. Fouls off the high fastball. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Evans. Down low, full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. Here comes the payoff pitch from Verlander. And he skies it to center field. Easy play for Trout. And there's 1 away. Next up is Mark Ruffalo, hitting .340, 18 homers, 69 runs batted in. He leads the ball club in both homers and RBIs this season. Slider outside, ball 1. Mark carries a 9-game hitting streak into this contest. Here comes the pitch. And he fouls off the fastball. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mark Ruffalo is not the first man to play the Incredible Hulk in the MCU. That honor goes to Ed Norton. And he pops it up behind home plate. Strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did he check it? Yes, he did, according to the first base umpire. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Misses high and inside, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Black Panther. Here comes the pitch. Fouls it off, and we will do it again. Breaks his bat. Second baseman picks it up, shovels it. He's out. What a nice play by Brian Roberts. Didn't think he had any chance in the world of making that play, but he did. Let's face it, the Hulk doesn't move very fast down the first base line. So there's 2 away, and up steps the late, great Chadwick Boseman, hitting .331, 10 homers, 40 RBIs. 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss way out in front of the slider for strike 1. Verlander looks sharp. And he pulls it. Deep in the hole, it's short. Semien jump throw, not in time. It's an infield single with 2 outs for Black Panther. And the inning will continue. So next up is Dave Bautista. Drax the Destroyer is hitting .319 on the season. Big lead at first. And he swings at the first pitch and skies it to left center field. There is the left fielder to make the catch and retire the side. So, no runs One hit, one left on at the end of 2 innings of play here at Crosley Field. The Mets lead 1-0. This is Avengers baseball. So we go to the top of the third. Justin Upton, the left fielder, steps to the plate. He's hitting .264, 14 homers, 40 RBIs. Pratt deals. Fastball at the knees, strike one. Swing and a miss, the cut fastball. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Misses with the circle change, count is 1-2. Justin Upton has a brother named BJ Upton. I think BJ, I'm a year behind because of COVID, but BJ plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, or at least he used to. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justin played for the Atlanta Braves. Lord knows where they are now. A lot of player movement that I haven't stayed up on top of. Strike 3 called. Knuckler floats in there for strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Chris Pratt. So in the NL West, the Hollywood Avengers have taken the place of the San Diego Padres and currently are in first place with a half-a-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers. They win today, it will be a full game. Next up is the catcher, Francisco Mejia, .255, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. 1 out, bases empty here in the top of the third. And he fouls it off for strike 1. And he slices it out of play for strike 2, late on the fastball. Just gets a piece of the circle change to stay alive. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Mejia is the backup catcher. And he skies it to right. There is Drax. He makes the catch for the second out.
The batter, number 1. Second base.
2 down and the lineup turns over for the New York Mets. Brian Roberts grounded out in the first. He's up there for his second plate appearance. 2 outs, bases empty. Change up in there, strike 1. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Change up outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Thank you for joining. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if baseball is not your thing. I have plenty of other playlists to look at. Grounder up the middle, racing over there is Sam Wilson. Cut the check. Side is retired. After 2.5, Mets still lead 1-0. We go to the bottom of the third. The Winter Soldier Sebastian Stan steps up to the plate. He's playing left field today, hitting .267 on the season. Here comes the pitch from Verlander. And he hits the first pitch to the shortstop. Simeon throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 away. Hollywood Avengers upcoming schedule. So off day on Monday, and then they go on a road trip. 3 at the Philadelphia and 3 at the New York Mets at Shea Stadium, I would assume. Or Citi Field. I called it Shea Stadium. How funny. Showing my age. Next up, Don Cheadle, the center fielder, .314, 9 homers, 44 RBIs. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He plays War Machine or James Rhodes in the MCU, and he pulls it foul for strike 1. Pops it up. Left side, out of play. Chipper Jones makes the catch. 2 quick outs for Justin Verlander here in the third. He's cruising. So the lineup turns over for the Avengers now, and Anthony Mackie, who struck out in the first, steps up for the second plate appearance. Pitches outside, ball 1. And he swings at the high pitch, fouls it off, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Verlander is a Cy Young Award winner in real life. 12-6 curve is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. He's pitching just like a Cy Young Award winner today, that's for sure. Hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Spider-Man. Hard ground ball through into center field. It's a 2-out single. Oh, he's going for second. Oh my goodness. Bad base running decision by the computer to send him to second. So single and thrown out at second at the end of 3. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Mets. The chat is quiet, Sir Dylan. Sorry to... But now that you've opened up the chat lines, it is less quiet. Leading off in the top of the 4th is Luis Arias. 3 for 10 in the series. He grounded out today in his first at-bat. Here comes the pitch. And he can't get around on the fastball. Fouls it off for strike 1. It is late, Sir Dylan. I know, Sir Dylan, you are from South Africa, which is on the other side of the globe. I'm from the east coast of New York. Line drive up the middle and through. It's a leadoff single for Arias here in the top of the 4th. Here in the east coast of the United States, it is 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, I guess my regulars are probably already asleep, but I just felt like getting a game in. We're going to have a storm tomorrow morning, even though it kind of is tomorrow morning already. So I figured I'd get a game in just in case we lose power or internet connection. So runner at first, nobody out. Up next is Chipper Jones, grounded out in the 1st. At the knees, strike 1. Thank you very much for being here, though, Dylan. Much appreciated. Runner leads off first. Out in front of the circle change, swing and a miss. Count is quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:15 in the morning in South Africa. 6-hour difference. Wow. And he fouls it up the first base line. So we'll do it again. The count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. Grounder through the right side. It's a hit for Chipper Jones. And the first 2 runners are on and threatening here with nobody out. Just serves it the other way between first and second for a base hit. Reaches out, pokes it through the right side. So next up is Mike Trout. He reached on an error in the 2nd, that pop-up that fell in short right field. So he's 0 for 1 officially. 2 on, nobody out here in the 4th. They already have a 1-0 lead. Grounder. In time, double play. They had a chance at a triple play, but he took the double play to be sure. He stepped on third for the first out, threw to first for the second out. So 2 quick outs for Chris Pratt. Nice defensive play. Up steps Dante Bichette. There still is a runner in scoring position at second, but that was a hell of a defensive play by Bozeman at third. Fastball at the knees, strike 1. So just like that, we go from 2 on and nobody out to 1 on and 2 outs. Ground ball up the first base line. That is a foul ball, and the count is 0-2 on Dante. I'm playing, I'm assuming that's NBA 2K21, the basketball game. Do you like it? Jams him inside with the fastball, fouls it off. Count will remain 0-2. I like basketball, not as much as baseball, but want to get through this season before I think about any other sports game. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on the cutter low. And the side is retired. So 2 on, nobody out, and they get out of it without a run crossing the plate. 3.5 gone by here in Crosley. The Mets still lead 1-0. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up steps Tom Holland. Grounded out in the 1st. He is 0 for 1. Leads the team in batting average with a .371 average. Out in front of the changeup, well, the curveball, strike 1. High and tight. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's 1-0 Mets here in the bottom of the 4th. Again, this is 3rd game of a 3-game set. Fastball high but called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Be right back. Not a problem, Mr. Dillon. Sir Dillon. Outside, full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Spider-Man. On deck is Tony Stark. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he hits a deep drive. Back goes Upton. It's Gonzo. That's a solo home run for Tommy Holland. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. That's a solo shot, his 12th of the season. And this ball game is tied at 1. Sir Dillon, you picked the wrong time to walk away from the game. Let's watch the replay. You can make a real strong argument for being the most valuable player here in the first half for the Avengers. Next up, Robert Downey Jr. grounded out in the first is 0 for 1. Fastball outside, ball 1. So we have a tie ball game at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Still nobody out. In the dirt, count is 2 balls and no strikes. High, 3 balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light on 3-0? No, he will not, because I don't swing on 3-0 pitches. I'm taking a pitch. Outside, ball 4. So he gives up the homer to Spider-Man and then walks Iron Man. So runner at first, still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. And up next is Steve Rogers, who is 0 for 1. He flew out in the 2nd. In this versatile lineup, he's yet another switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Verlander. Chased the pitch, high, fouled it off, strike 1. Runner leads off first. Fastball is low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. A little late on the 2-seam fastball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony Stark leads off first. Chris Evans is at the plate. And he's late on the slider. Stays alive. Pokes it foul down the left field line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Evans. Checks the swing, changeup is low. Count will go full 3-2. I doubt the runner will be in motion with nobody out. Too much of a gamble. Jams him. Flies out to Upton, who makes the catch for out number 1. Downey Jr. retreats to first. Pitch speed comparison brought to you by Topps Playing Cards. Both Chris Pratt and Justin Verlander tied at 97 miles an hour. Also, where it counts, this ball game is also tied. Next up is Mark Ruffalo, grounded out in the 2nd. He is 0 for 1. Runner leads off first, 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Justin. Low and on the corner, but called the strike. Count is 0-1. Grounder to the right side, fielded by Eddie Murray. Throws second for 1, back to first. Not in time. It's a fielder's choice. Out at 2nd, and there are 2 away. So Mark Ruffalo takes over at first base. Nice play by Eddie Murray to get the lead runner at 2nd. Next up, Chadwick Boseman. The late, great Chadwick Boseman had a single in the 2nd inning. We lost Chadwick to colon cancer in 2020. May he rest in peace. And that's a line drive, base hit to left. He's going to go to third. It'll be first and third with 2 away. So single to right center field gets that runner to go from first to third. And Black Panthers now 2 for 2. Next up, Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer, quick throw to first. He's back. So Dave has runners at first and third and 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. He's going to need to hit in order to get that runner home from third base. Let's see what happens. And it is a line drive to the shortstop. Simeon makes the catch to retire the side. But Tom Holland hits his 12th home run of the season to put them on the board. At the end of 4 innings of play, we have a tie ball game. This is Avengers Baseball. As we go to the top of the 5th, Eddie Murray steps up.
The first baseman, number 33.
Eddie is 0 for 1.
Eddie.
Here comes the pitch from Chris Pratt. Fastball in there, strike 1, 96 on the radar gun. Chris Pratt is 10-1 on the season. He's going for win number 11. Cut fastball in there, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes, making a case for the Cy Young Award. But of course, we have the entire second half of the season to go. A lot can happen. Breaking ball outside, count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he pops it up. Let's see if Robert Downey Jr. can make the catch this time. He does in foul territory, and there's 1 away. Makes up for that error he had in the first inning. So 1 down, up steps Marcus Simeon, who's 2 for 9 in this series. 0 for 1 today. Here comes the pitch. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Thank you for watching. This is Avengers Baseball, created franchise on MLB The Show for PlayStation 4. Fouls off the changeup. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on Simeon. Imagine if the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play a full 162-game schedule against baseball legends past and present, and that's what you'd have right here. Simeon hits a lazy fly ball to shallow center field. Don Cheadle is there to make the catch for out number 2.
The left fielder, number 8. Justin.
Love to play. I'm playing the game, live streaming the game, and also doing play-by-play, as I'm sure you obviously could tell. Next up is Justin Upton. 2 outs, base is empty, top of the 5th. Ball game tied at 1. And he's late on the fastball, fouls it upstairs for strike 1. The game within the game. I love to do play-by-play. I just found out that I'm pretty decent at it. Obviously, I'm not perfect at it. Knuckler floats in there for strike 2. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. But I enjoy it almost as much as playing the game itself. Oh, that ball is high. It is far. That ball is gone. Justin Upton clears that left field wall with home run number 15 on the season, and the Mets now have a 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. Oof. That was a smash. Here's the replay. Oh, killed it. Really no chance of it going foul. So next up, Francisco Mejia, the catcher who flew out in the 3rd, is 0 for 1. 2-1 lead for the Mets here in the 5th inning. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Misses outside, low with the knuckleball. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Jams him with the circle change. Count was 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called inside corner. And the side is retired, but not before Justin Upton breaks the 1-1 tie with this, his 15th homer of the season. After 4.5, it's the Mets 2, the Avengers 1. Oof. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Up steps Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier, who grounded out in the third inning. He's 0 for 1.
Number 16.
Here comes the pitch from Justin Verlander. And that's a line drive headed for the left field. Oh, running catch for Justin Upton. He covered the real estate. One pitch, one away here in the bottom of the fifth.
Number 10.
Here's the replay. Got good wood on it towards that left center field gap, but Upton made the catch. So next up is Don Cheadle, War Machine. Popped out in the third. He is 0 for 1. High and outside, ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Jams him. Shallow fly ball, short center field. Trout makes the catch, 2 away. Thought there might have been a chance for it to be in that Bermuda Triangle of no man's land in short left center field, but Trout ran it down, 2 away. Next up, Anthony Mackie singled in the third. He's 1 for 2. Tried to take second base on the single, got thrown out. So that ball is high. It is far. It is a foul ball. Strike 1. It had the distance, but couldn't stay fair. That ball is high. It is far. It is gonzo. That's a solo home run. He said this time it'll be fair. Mackie hits solo shot, home run number 12. And again, this ball game is tied at 2. Cut the check, ladies and gentlemen. That's the new Captain America. Here's the replay. My goodness. 373. So, ball game is tied at 2. The Mets manager has seen enough. He goes to the bullpen, asks for the right-hander. That'll be all for Justin Verlander. In relief is Adam Ottavino, making his 45th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 4-3 with a 3.95 earned run average. He will face Tom Holland, a.k.a. Spider-Man, here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. That ball is high, and it is far, and it's going to be off that scoreboard in left center field. He's racing around second. He's heading to third. He's going to have a stand-up triple, 2-out triple for Spider-Man. And the inning will continue. Let's look at the replay, see how high up that scoreboard this ball goes. That would have been a home run in just about any other ballpark, but here at Crosley Field, that's just a double. Check that, a triple. Runner at third, 2 away for Robert Downey Jr. Fouls off the 2-seam fastball for strike 1. Robert walked in this ball game. Officially, he is 0 for 1. Plays Tony Stark in the MCU. Grounds it just foul at the first base line. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Tony Stark. He's hitting .342 with runners in scoring position. So obviously he's comfortable with that runner over at third base. Backs him off the plate with the slider. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Holland is at third. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the fifth. And he pops it up behind home plate, and the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Did he check it? Yes, he did. According to third base umpire, the count will even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third, bottom of the fifth. 2-2 ball game. Third game of a 3-game set against these 2 ball clubs. Grounds it up the middle, backhanded by Brian Roberts. Throws to first in time, and the side is retired. That's a Sports Center play. But the game is tied at the end of 5, thanks to the home run. We have a 2-2 tie. Avengers Baseball. Next up, top of the 6th, Brian Roberts made a nice defensive play. Now he steps into the batter's box. 0 for 2 today. Chris Pratt sets and delivers. At the knees, strike 1. Knuckler floats in there. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Chris Pratt made a couple of mistakes, but overall he's been sharp. Comes the pitch. Just gets a piece of the inside fastball. Count will remain 0-2. Brian Roberts in the top 3 in vote getters for second base in the National League for the All-Star game. We only have a week or 2 before that happens. Fastball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pops it up. Pratt says, I got this. Makes the catch in front of the mound for out number 1.
Up next to the net.
Luis Arias has a single in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. He's 4 for 11 in this series, so he's done well. Here comes the pitch. Lefty hitter against the left-handed pitcher. Fouls off the fastball for strike 1. Didn't know how to pronounce his name at the beginning of the series. Then I heard the stadium announcer say Luis Arias, and now down and in, but called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Arias. Now I can't stop saying it. Pratt sets and delivers. Pops him up. Caught in short right field by Spider-Man. Holland makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, the third baseman.
Next up, Chipper Jones. 1 for 2 with a single. He has a homer in this series. The game is tied at 2 here in the top of the 6th. That's a line drive caught by Spider-Man to retire the side, showing that agility. That's a Sports Center play right there. Let's see the replay. After 5.5, 2-2 tie. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Up next is Chris Evans, 0 for 2 today. Average is dipped to 308. Ottavino's out there for his 2nd inning of relief work. Jams him. Lazy fly ball to left. Upton makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 away.
Now batting.
Next up, Mark Ruffalo, who is also 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Chases a slider outside the strike zone. Strike 1. Hector Rondon, the right-hander, and Tyler Olson, the left-hander, are getting loose in the Mets bullpen. Count is 0-1 on Ruffalo. Cut fastballs outside. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Avengers are 55-28. Right now they're in first place, half a game up on the Dodgers. Cut fastball is high, 2 balls, 1 strike. They will either be tied with a loss for the division lead or have a full 1-game lead should they win today. Low, the hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck, Black Panther, waiting for his turn. Here comes the pitch from Ottavino. Out in front of the cut fastball. Count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a line drive base hit, which may go all the way to the wall, and it does. Rounding first and heading to second. He might have a play. No, he does not. That's a 1-out double for the Incredible Hulk. Hulk smash. Double number 19 on the season for Ruffalo, and that's a double-digit hitting streak, 10 games for Ruffalo. Next up, Black Panther, 2 for 2 today, 2 singles. He got the average up to 336. Runner in scoring position. That's the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss, the fastball, strike 1. Chadwick is 4 for 9 in this series. He has 2 RBIs. That's a line drive base hit. He had to go back to second just in case. So he just stay right where he is on the line drive. It's a base hit. Runners at first and second. Not a lot of speed at second base. Mark can't run. Thought it might be caught up the middle by the shortstop. It got decoyed, so he went back to the bag just in case. And then by the time he would get the engine started again, definitely would have been thrown out at third. Dave Bautista's 0 for 2. 2 on, 1 away. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of the two-seam fastball, strike 1. Dave's 0 for 2. Dave is a former professional wrestler in the WWE. Bautista. Two-seam fastball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bautista's hitting .313 with runners in scoring position, which is about his season average. So, really no difference. Fouls it off. Count is 1-2. So the ball game is tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 on, 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Adam Ottavino. And that's a line drive that looks like it might bloop in there, and it does. Rounding third and heading home is the Hulk. It's an RBI single for Drax the Destroyer, and the MCU now takes a 3-2 advantage here in the bottom of the 6th. Good base running. Read that ball off the bat. Throw to third, not in time. So next up is the Winter Soldier. Runners at first and third with less than 2 outs. He can get that runner home at third without the benefit of a base hit. Oh, called it a ball. Looked like a strike. Called the ball by the home plate umpire. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Again, runners lead off first and third with only 1 out. Out in front. Throw down to third for no apparent reason. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yesterday, Sebastian Stan had an inside the park home run, swing and a miss, 3-run inside the park home run to give the Avengers an 8-2 lead yesterday's game. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sebastian. Here comes the pitch. Slider outside, count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners lead off first and third. It's a 3-2 lead for the MCU here in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the pitch. And that ball is headed for the gap, and it's going to be in there. 1 run will score. Rounding first and heading to second. It'll be a RBI double for the Winter Soldier, and the MCU now leads 4-2. That's Sebastian's 4th double of the season. Here's the replay. It's basically in that left center field gap. Nobody could get there. 2 runs have scored in this inning. Next up, James Rhodes, 0 for 2 today. 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. High and outside, ball 1. So 2 runs have already crossed the plate. A single could score 2 more. Let's see what happens. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Don Cheadle's hitting .351 with runners in scoring position this season. So he's comfortable with those runners at second and third. Down and in, 3 balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light on 3-0? No, he won't, because I'm not swinging. I'm holding the controller and I'm not going to swing, so that'll tell you everything you need to know. Fastball in there. Hitters count 3-1. The handcuffs are off. Runners lead off second and third. And it's low with the cut fastball. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. 1 out. And up steps Anthony Mackie, 2 for 3. He's had a home run in his last at-bat. He has the bases loaded. Question you must ask yourself is, has he ever had a grand slam? No, he has not. Not while I'm controlling it. Tyler Olson, left-handed pitcher, comes in under the bullpen. He's 1-0 with a 2.48 earned run average over 32 2/3 innings pitched. He has been lights out. Mackie's a switch hitter, turns around and bats from the right side against the lefty Olson. Again, he's 2 for 3. That was from the other side of the plate. The bases are jammed with Avengers. Grounder through. It is an RBI single. 2 runs will score. Oh no. He's safe at third, and he goes to second on the throw to third. Are they going to give him a double on that? They shouldn't. It's an RBI single, 2-run single for the new Captain America. And this ball game is now 6-2 Avengers. The throw to third was not in time. He just got his foot in there. Here's the tag. Not in time. So 4 runs across the plate in this half inning. It's a 6-2 lead for the Avengers. Again, 2 runners in scoring position for Tom Holland. Checks the swing. Ball 1. Tom Holland has a homer and a triple. He's looking for the cycle. He's got the 2 hardest ones. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Obviously no advance in the base paths. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tommy Holland this season with runners in scoring position is hitting over 500. Fly ball to center, tagging at third. The throw to the plate is cut off. It's an RBI sacrifice fly for Spider-Man, and the MCU now leads 7-2. So he got the job done. The average will go down, but he got the job done. Oh wait, sacrifice fly, maybe it won't. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr. steps up, runner at second, 2-away. Walked in this ball game. Officially, he's 0 for 2. Skies it to center field. Racing over is Trout to make the catch, and finally the side is retired. The Avengers score 5 times, and at the end of 6 innings of play, they lead 7-2. This is Avengers baseball. Oh yeah. So we go to the top of the 7th. Mike Trout steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 2. Here comes a pitch from Star-Lord. Fastball low, ball 1. That's a deep drive the other way. Miles of real estate over there in the right field corner. Bautista tosses it back in. He makes a big turn at second, but decides to hold. It is a leadoff double for Mike Trout, his 18th of the season. His first hit of the ball game. He's 1 for 3. Just hits the line drive the other way, and they were actually shading him to pull. So long run for Drax over there in right field to get that ball in. Next up is Dante Bichette. 5-run lead. The manager's going to go to the bullpen and just warm up some guys. Let's warm up Ed Norton and Paul Bettany. Let's see what happens. Grounder, foul ball, strike 1. Pitch count's really low for Chris Pratt. This is the 7th inning, top of the 7th. He's only thrown 66 pitches. It's been effective, so didn't get out of trouble. Out in front of the knuckler, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Dante. He couldn't hold it. Broke his wrist, swung, strike 3. There's 1 away.
Up next to the net, the first baseman.
Next up, Eddie Murray, who's 0 for 2. He has an RBI ground out today, responsible for 1 of those 2 runs for the Mets. Just misses outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddie Murray played for the Baltimore Orioles in his playing days in the 70s and 80s. High and tight, 2 balls, 1 strike. This is Avengers baseball. If you're lurking in the shadows, in the background anonymously, you haven't made a comment, I appreciate you nonetheless. Grounder to the shortstop. He looks him back to second, throws to first, cut the check. There's 2 away. Nice play by Anthony Mackie at short. So 2 down, upsets Marcus Semien. 2 for 10 in this series, 0 for 2 today. Again, he's got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Strike 1, 95 on the radar gun. Just gets a piece of that changeup. Count is 0 and 2. As you can see, the pitch count is pretty reasonable for Chris Pratt. Really depends on how he gets out of this inning, if whether or not he'll go another one. Grounder to third, routine play. Throws to first, in time. Side is retired. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch here at Crosley Field as the Hollywood Avengers lead 7-2. Take me out to the ball game. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Chris Evans turns around and bats from the right side against the lefty. Olson out there for a second inning of work. Evans is 0 for 3. And he hits hard ground ball to the shortstop. Simeon, routine play, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 away. Next up, Mark Ruffalo has a double and a run scored. He is 1 for 3. Leads the team in homers and RBIs. A little late on the fastball, strike 1. 7-2 advantage here in the bottom of the 7th for the Avengers. They're looking to sweep this 3-game set. And if things stay the way they are, they will get the brooms out. Count is 0-2 on Ruffalo. Did he swing? No, he did not, according to the first base umpire. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, no, he went too far. Hit the ground, so strike him out, throw him out, 2 away. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 7th for Olson. Chadwick steps up to the plate. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles, got that average up to 338. That's a deep drive. It's got a chance. The wall. He catches the ball colliding with the wall to retire the side. Gorgeous play by Mike Trout. At the end of 7 innings of play, the score remains MCU 7, New York Mets 2. We go to the top of the 8th. Justin Upton, who homered in today's ball game, steps up for his 3rd plate appearance. He's 1 for 2. Pratt still out there. He's only thrown 75 pitches. Grounder to 3rd. Routine play for Black Panther. 1 pitch, 1 away. Starter comparison, as you can see, Chris Pratt out-dueled Justin Verlander. Pratt is in line for the win should the score stay the way it is. Next up, Francisco Mejia, 0 for 2. Here comes the pitch. At the knees, strike 1. Things stay the way they are. He'll get win number 11 on the season. Circle change in there. Count is 0-2 on Mejia. Couldn't get around on the fastball. Out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Grounder to the second baseman, backhanded by Spider-Man, throws to first, in time, 2 away. Chris Pratt, ERA leaders entering play in the National League. Chris Hemsworth, his teammate, leads the National League with a 2.50. Pratt is on the list at 3.10 in the middle of the pack, as you can see. 2 away, bases empty, top of the 8th. Brian Roberts is 0 for 3. Here comes the pitch from Star-Lord. And he skies it down the first base line, out of play for strike number 1. Misses outside with the changeup. Attendance at Crosley, 26,860. This is a minor league ballpark. That's actually a sellout. Anything in the mid to high 20s is a sellout for Crosley Field. Inside corner with the knuckler. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out with the cutter. Inside. Side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 7-2 lead for the MCU. This is Avengers baseball.
Your attention, please.
Hector Rondon comes in to pitch the bottom of the 8th. He's 4-4 with a 3.95 earned run average. He'll face Dave Bautista to lead off. Manager, bullpen, lefty switch righty. Let's have Paul Bettany. The schedule put him in the game. Let's have Paul Bettany pitch. Dave's 1 for 3. At the knees, strike 198 on the radar gun. Checks his swing, fastball's high, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's a line drive to center field, but Trout is there, and there's 1 away. Next up, Sebastian Stan. He had an RBI double and a run scored. He's 1 for 3, 3 for 7 with a homer in this series. That homer was a 3-run inside the park home run yesterday against these same Mets. Pitches outside, ball 1. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 right-handers are warming in the Mets bullpen. Craig Stammen and Goose Gossage. I haven't seen him this series. Misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light? No, he will not. I don't swing on 3-0. High, ball 4. And the Winter Soldier works out a walk. 1-out walk.
Now batter, number 10.
Next up, Don Cheadle. He walked, scored a run. Officially, he is 0 for 2. Stan leads off first. Low, ball 1. That's 6 straight balls. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner leads off first. That's a line drive to center. Playable on the warning track. Trout makes the catch for out number 2. Sebastian returns to first.
Now batter.
Next up, Anthony Mackie. He's 3 for 4. He has a homer, a double, a single. He's a triple shy of the cycle. He has 6 hits in 13 at-bats this series. Quick throw to first. Sebastian Bucky Barnes is back. In there, strike 1. Like I said before, he's a triple shy of the cycle. And he pulls it hard but foul. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And again he pulls it foul. Slider down and in. Down the right field line, out of play. Runner leads off first. Big lead at first. Fastball outside, 99 on the radar gun. He throws heat. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mackie. That's a line drive to center field. It is a base hit. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. It's not the triple, but he'll take it. Tom Holland steps up to the plate. Spider-Man is 2 for 3. Grounds it to the shortstop, shovels it over to second for the force, and the side is retired. So we go to the 9th, the last licks for the New York Mets. They need 5 runs to tie at the end of 8. It's the Hollywood Avengers leading 7-2. Do you want to change pitchers? Yes, I do. That'll be all for Star-Lord. In relief is Vision, Paul Bettany, 2-1 with a 3.82 earned run average. It's not a save opportunity with a 5-run lead. Up first is Luis Arias, who's 1 for 3 with a single. Left-handed hitter against the lefty Bettany. Inside corner with the fastball, strike 1. Down the left field line, foul ball. Count is 0-2 on Arias. And he fouls it back. Triple digits on the radar gun. 100 miles an hour. Count remains 0-2. Slow roller to the second baseman. He charges, barehands it, throws to first in time. One away here in the ninth. The line for Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He is in line for win number 11, should this 5-run lead hold. Next up, Chipper Jones, switch hitter, batting from the right side. Here's the pitch. Checks the swing, but the sinking fastball's in there, strike 1. Fouls off the changeup. Count is 0-2 on Chipper. If you haven't seen WandaVision on Disney Plus, I suggest you see it. Not a sponsor. I just liked the show. You should see it. Line drive, 1 hop to Spider-Man. Throws to first, and there are 2 away. And the New York Mets are down to their final out of the game. Final out of this 3-game series. Representing that final out is Mike Trout. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored today. Does have 17 homers and 62 RBIs. He's no slouch. Misses low with the breaking ball. Pulls it foul. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike to Trout. Pulls the sinker foul. Count is 1-2, and the Mets are down to their final strike of the ball game. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Side retired. Ball game over. Avengers win 7-2, and they sweep this 3-game series at home against the New York Mets. The first place New York Mets, possible future playoff opponent, won all 3 games. The Mets go home having been swept. The Avengers now are 56-28. Winning pitcher is Star-Lord. Chris Pratt gets win number 11. Adam Ottavino gets the loss in relief. Hollywood Avengers, 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. New York Mets, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. This has been a presentation of Avengers baseball. As you can see, the player of the game is the new Captain America, Anthony Mackie. Went 4 for 5 with a homer, a double, and 3 RBIs. He is your player of the game. Thank you so much for watching. I am RC Robbin. Please like the video. If you don't like baseball, check out some of my other playlists on this YouTube channel. This is game number, if I'm not mistaken, 85, 84, 85, probably 84 in a 162-game regular season. So a lot more baseball left to be played. Hopefully we make the playoffs and the World Series before we put this version of the MLB The Show franchise to bed. But I'm not putting it to bed until this created franchise either wins the World Series or goes home crying. So the final here at Crosley Field. The Hollywood Avengers sweep the New York Mets. Today they win 7-2. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.